We are, though, hearing from a lot of teachers and staff about the current rules around COVID-19. Brooke went right to our education commissioner with some of your questions.
So you work at a school and you get COVID. No debate here. The days you're out are your sick days, and everyone should be allotted 10. It's up to each district if they want to provide you with more. But what happens if you must quarantine? Some teachers are telling us they've had to use sick days, but that should not be the case.
That employee would continue to receive full pay and benefits during that period of quarantine. The district can ask the employee to work remotely during that period of time, and they can ask for the employee to take a COVID test to come off of the quarantine leave.
Now, what if your child gets COVID or is exposed and has to quarantine, meaning you have to come home too?
We don't have a statewide policy that addresses that, but we are seeing districts that are creating additional leave policies for employees, and school districts are able to add more benefits and more leave days beyond the state minimums, and we are seeing districts do that.
Some of you have also asked about the requirement for Kentucky schools to report their COVID cases and quarantines. Turns out there isn't one, at least not anymore.
Currently, we don't have any authority to go to districts and say you should be turning this data into us. We are encouraging districts to report that themselves, and several of them are doing a really good job.
The state has asked schools to continue their mitigation techniques to keep the virus at bay, and that mask mandate is still in effect for public schools and could last into next spring.
Regrettably, I wish we could have been proven wrong on this. We could have been shown that we overreacted, but every day we get more and more data that tells us that that absolutely was the right decision. And because of the surges that we're seeing, we don't need to be talking about pulling back from protecting our kids in our schools. We need to be thinking about how can we do everything we can to keep them safe, to keep the staff safe, to keep the community safe, and to keep the in-person and learning going.